Alright, so I have this 1 to 2 gym here, and I'm like, okay, who are the best options for this? And it was between Korg and Juggernaut, and I went with Juggernaut, and I think I made the right choice because, Juggernaut is just a really, really strong champion, but that also kind of leads to this pretty big debate as well. And the question is Juggernaut too good as a 7-star character? Now, this debate is honestly a pretty fair one because once Juggernaut is in the zone, his times in battlegrounds, unmatched, just completely unmatched. Maybe Silk can match it, but besides Silk, it is just a thing that is, so hard to duplicate because this man is just so fast, and it is honestly just unfair sometimes. And here's a quick example of just how fast Juggernaut is. And you're gonna see here that it only takes us 16 hits to get to the SP2 because his power rate is just massively supercharged. And not only that, the damage output of course is just bonkers as well. So it's okay, this champion is just so unfair, right? And he is unfair, to be honest. He just does fights way too fast. And yeah, this was a 31-second fight, which is just unreal, just so unreal. That was no recall masteries, no synergies, just Juggernaut by himself. And here's the crazy part, this man is still crazy good for even these 1 million health pool fights, which is absurd, right? That is just silly because it means his range is just really high up there. And when you're already one of the best battlegrounds attackers, and you also take these fights pretty easily too, that's honestly a pretty big problem, right? Because yeah, that's just unreal. Most champions fit one type of fight and that's about it. For example, let's see. I can't think of one, but most champions are tailored towards one type of matchup, whether it's a burst matchup or it's a higher health matchup. Juggernaut just has good damage all the time, and that's just honestly insane, right? Now of course Juggernaut can be stopped kind of easily, but then again the SP3 can also just prevent that too, so he is kind of just unstoppable, right? And it fits the character obviously because he is Juggernaut, he is this unstoppable force, and it's honestly pretty cool. But yeah, it's just really strong. And as it stands right now, if Juggernaut was never a 7-star champion, you can still ascend the 6-star one, right? But the 7-star Juggernaut is going to have the ability to go to rank 3, and rank 3 Juggernaut is just going to be unfair, by all means just completely unfair. And then a rank 4 Juggernaut, that's a long time away, right? That's I don't even know how many years, but once that happens and this man is at a rank 4 level, that's when you're gonna realize that yeah, maybe this guy was a bit too good to be a 7-star champion. But yeah, it's kind of crazy because this guy wasn't even gonna make it in the first place because he got in because of a poll, and that poll was the Mystic Summoner's Choice poll, right, for the 7-star Titan Crystal, I believe. And in that original poll there was Clairvoyant, and Clairvoyant was dominating that poll with absolute ease. She was crushing it 50% to the other one split 17%. It was crazy stuff. And they took her out because it was apparently it wasn't supposed to be that way. So they took her out and they replaced her with I think Spider-Man Supreme. And yeah, that made Juggernaut the new favorite. And I'm gonna be completely honest, as this 25-second fight plays out, by the way, yeah, 25 seconds just like that. But I'll be honest, I think that Juggernaut as a 7-star is causing 1,000 times more problems than a 7-star Claire ever would. And yeah, that's crazy to think about, right? Because Juggernaut technically shouldn't even be here. as a 7 star, but he is, and he is just wreaking havoc across the whole battle realm, right? And you know, Kabam just can't be like, you know, takes these backsies, he's not a 7 star anymore. That it doesn't work like that. So yeah, they kind of just have to, you know, adjust as like, you know, time goes on, and just like make notes to counter him, because he is that strong in battlegrounds, which is wild. But yeah, here we have the Silver Surfer fight, and this Surfer fight is a good showcase of Juggernaut's Nullify, because yeah, if you thought he like was just damage, oh, you are completely wrong, because he is not just damage, he is honestly really good buff control as well, because he has not only just a stagger on the heavy attack, he has a straight up Nullify per unstoppable buff on him. And that is just so useful, because you know, sometimes the stagger isn't enough because you can't get rid of like permanent buffs that like activate on the start of the fight, but with the, you know, with the awakened ability, you can actually do that now. So yeah, a dupe Juggernaut is insane, obviously, and you know, once people get like their 7 star jugs awakened, he is gonna be unfair. Like with this next Battlegrounds meta, I think my Juggernaut will be like, he'll probably be permanently banned, because of course he will be, like it's Juggernaut and it's a mystic meta. So yeah, he won't like survive it, obviously. Like he's gonna be the most banned character by far, because like it's a mystic meta for one, so like that already targets him. But even in like the non-mystic metas, it's still Juggernaut that is doing the best fight times, right? Or maybe Silk. I think Silk is that good, and like Sunspot too. Like they are kind of close to Juggernaut, but the right Juggernaut matchup can be up to like 20 seconds. And you know, Silk can do that too, but I think Juggernaut just does it more consistently. However, of course, Juggernaut does have his drawbacks, like he is a bit easier to stop, but in those matchups where you can't stop Juggernaut, you are just done for. Like, you know that you're gonna lose that round, because Juggernaut's gonna do it in 20 something seconds. Like, that's the crazy part of this champion. Like, you know that you're gonna lose against him, and that's honestly really funny. But now we have this 700,000 health Kangaroo, and yeah, he is a massive beefcake, but so is Juggernaut. This is the battle of the beefcakes, and you know, I love extra large characters, and Juggernaut of course is extra large, so we are just eating good. And yeah, he just crushes this fight, like just crushes it big time, because yeah, look at this damage output, look at Mystic Dispersion just like, you know, being super useful too. Oh, and by the way, yeah, this guy's a mystic character, so like, you know, those buffs that like expire, he gets power off of them. And you know, the SP2 being like, you know, the most deadly special attack from Juggernaut, yeah, that gets supercharged as well. So yeah, this guy being a mystic also just makes him 1,000 times crazier. So it's like, oh shoot, this guy might be a bit too good. And it's like, yeah, duh, of course he is, it's Juggernaut. So like, this guy is so crazy, and it's like, it's so fun as well, because he is just super enjoyable to play. Like, he is just really fun too. Everyone wants Juggernaut, right? Like, everyone wants this character because he is just so easy to play, and he's just really fun as well, and he's also like the craziest champion in the game. So yeah, it's a nice pairing, it's a very fun pairing. But yeah, we go back in here, drop a combo into the SP2, or into the relic, sorry, into the SP2, and yeah, it's like, what can you say? And you know, this stinks because usually watch time is pretty important for YouTube videos, right? But yeah, this guy, he hates watch time because he ends the fights in like 20 something seconds. So yeah, I'm kind of screwed here as well. But you know what, this was still a very fun video to make. Rank 2 Juggernaut, I have a lot more plans with this character, but yeah, he is just really good. But let me know your thoughts on Juggernaut, and yes, about it from me.